So normally, both juvenile and adult trout, particularly the non-migrating ones, including rainbow trout, generally speaking, they live in a quite a complex environment. More often than not, the ground is covered with pebbles and cobbles and things like that. There's in a good trout stream, there'll be lots of riparian vegetation, so grasses and trees overhanging and things like that. And you'll often find trout during the day in underneath the banks or in underneath big rocks and boulders and things like that. Early morning and later in the afternoon towards evening, they tend to be a bit more active. And so they'll come out into the stream. They often hide behind boulders in the stream and they wait for drifting food to come past, mostly insects, but they'll also take small fish. And they just dart out and they grab it and they come back to the position that they were in. And you can find, 2 or 3 individuals in a small stretch of stream, but the density is quite low generally. But the environment is complex. The water is often moving reasonably quickly. So that's the kind of natural environment that they're found in. It's very difficult to tell, but judging from the clarity of the water, it looks to me that it's a water quality problem, which means, well, it could be lots of things, but judging from the density of the animals that I saw in the first image, I dare say there are too many animals in a small period of space. Which means that, of course, they're all going to be excreting and all sorts of things into the water. So my first guess would be that it's probably related to too much ammonia or some other waste product in the water. Really, 2 possibilities: a developmental deformity due to underlying genetics, or exposure at some point to a bacteria and or virus that can result in that kind of spinal deformity. The fin is clearly tattered and torn and probably worn down. It looks to me like it not only is it badly torn, but it also has a bacterial infection. But that's quite common once the fin gets damaged to a certain degree and the mucous membrane is damaged, then secondary infections, usually fungal infections, get into it. And typically, there's 2 things that can cause that. The first one is low water quality, but generally if you have low water quality and high density at the same time, then that can lead to tattered, torn and ripped fins. And if you have low water quality, then obviously secondary infections get in. The immune system tries to fight it, but inevitably the bacteria wins. A trout, if you keep it out of water, certainly within 10 or 15 minutes, it will die of asphyxiation if it's not kept damp in some way. So once the gills aren't properly supported, then it will slowly suffocate.